Hey everybody, welcome to the Prime Forecast. My name is Brice.
Chris.
Ross. Alex.
And today there's not much going on in the news, but we got a couple of special things that we want to talk about. And Chris will start that off with hip-hop as always.
Naturally. First of all, drop the ball one time by opening that can.
Ross is good.
Can of ranch.
Well,
Ross is good.
just do it at the beginning, then it's easier to find.
Yep.
Sure. All right, so
My diet
I think
ranch.
2019, we can go around the table, and it's been the year of bullshit claims. Like, we have Joyner Lucas saying, "I'm not racist, paved the way for This Is America." We had that whole Tory Lanez bullshit where he's like, "I'm the best rapper alive right now." And it's like all of these disclaimers. 2018 leading into 2019, we had that Jacquees, that whole King of R&B shit. We have Jermaine Dupri that says he had more influence than Outkast, which is bullshit. So, like, is there any other bullshit claims that I missed?
Thor's
like,
So you're saying from like January, like 1st to now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Trump had a pretty well good
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, Trump had a good run. Well, first,
Bullshit,
just to get it out of the way, every single fucking rapper says the same shit. All of them talk themselves up. And now after that stupid bitch boy is going around saying he started everything, everybody's trying to get a piece of that pie, saying they're responsible for so-and-so in rap. It's a pissing contest, and most of the time, all of them are fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Like T.I., we paved the way for Atlanta, and like with Ludacris and someone else in a picture, and then it's like, when did you release your first album? When was Outkast?
Yeah.
Like, they're monumental, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
and extremely talented and top tier rappers, but it's like, no, dude, it's like Outkast years before you. They blew that shit up, dude.
Sure, and I think the only thing that really gets ahead of that and is the golden token or golden card that you can play in that argument is if you actually fucking sign people under you. I paved the way for these people that I signed, and now I make money because of it. If you're not making money and if you didn't sign them, fuck off.
So I see there's no rules to any of it.
Yeah.
Which is the worst part. It's like, what do you consider a success in rap? Like, how do you quantify that? Is it off sales? Is it off, general popularity?
Yeah.
Is it off, whatever the fuck else people try to quantify shit? Lyrics, their rhyme schemes, one bar versus an entire catalog of someone else.
Yeah.
There's always two sides to the coin for all this fucking shit, but...
Yeah. And I don't think I don't know, with like the Tekashi and the troll shit, I don't think they really have a lot of legs, of leg to stand on with this. Oh, I'm the hottest right now, and if you're not hot right now, we got into this with the Bone Thugs argument and shit like that. If you're not hot right now, then you're just shitty. And it's like, no, I contributed more, and then that starts a thing like, I paved the way for y'all young kids, and it's like, if you didn't sign people and if you didn't have the vision to say, hey, you're really good, you should come over to the label, you should record, I should give you this opportunity to do this shit. Like, that shit doesn't mean anything to me. You mean to tell me, oh shit, before J. Cole made it, he gave me his mixtape. You threw that shit in the trash. You didn't listen to it. Mm-hmm. And now that he's popping, oh, I remember J. Cole when he was coming up. No, the fuck you don't.
It's like, a lot of successful rappers got turned down by a lot of people before they were even signed.
Yeah.
Eminem has popular stories regarding that. 50 Cent always has said that, he was getting tossed around and not getting the necessary deals that he thought he deserved or deals at all.
Sure.
And, they, fucking massive. They're fucking huge. Nas, Jay-Z signed Nas after beef. Like,
yeah.
It's just there's so many facets to this, so many tiers, so many levels.
Yeah.
In regard to Lil Pump, what the fuck did he say?
Lil Pump was saying that he was the most lyrical rapper.
He's the most delusional rapper. I'll give him that.
Like, he's a very copy and paste rapper. How many words was there in that whole song of Gucci Gang? Like 12 or some shit, if that.
He's extremely popular, but we discussed that on the last podcast where, you know, you got the streams, you got the popularity, but the only reason you're on repeat is because the people are using you as vibe music when they're partying or in the clubs. No one's listening to what the fuck you have to say or what you're saying. Therefore, lyrically, you're out the fucking door, dude. You're like, you're not even in the driveway. You're not even on the street, dude. You're like, I don't know, in the fucking ditch somewhere.
Right.
Like, you don't have a lane. It's like,
You might as well be a DJ trying to sing.
That is basically what it is. I really feel that resonates.
and if you watch a DJ Khaled performance or whatever, that's disgusting. Like,
what's crazy?
Why? Like,
I can give DJ Khaled props because he is actually out there and he started out from radio. So it's just basically him being across the mic and saying, you know what, you and you and you and you should work together on a song. Let's make that happen. I'll put the beat together. I'll put a theme together for it. Y'all work on that joint. We do this, you know? Like, at least he's working on synergy, bringing people together that wouldn't maybe otherwise do a track together. And, like, I could give him his props there because he did that, like, not a lot of people can. But, like, these little pumps and shit, like I can't, like, I cannot do that.
do you have an opinion on that, Alex? Like,
What? The only Lil that matters is Wayne. That's
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. Don't discount Bow Wow though.
What?
Don't discount Bow Wow.
You gotta rate
Dude,
him
when he
off.
was on that Jay-Z song, what's Bounce With Me or whatever, when he was singing all that dirty shit to Jay-Z,
Yo.
that was fucking weird. That was R. Kelly shit, but we just we discount that. We don't even bring that up anymore.
Because
like,
you gotta think how much of Bow Wow shit was written by Jermaine
what's that
Dupri.
song called?
If you have to Google it. If you
I
if
didn't
you
wanna-
listen to
this
Bow Wow
isn't
rap,
some like Birdman shit.
it
It's
like hopefully not. If you listen to Bow Wow rap and Jermaine Dupri rap in the same era, it's exactly the same. The
Can I
cadence
Get
is
a-
the same.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, can I
Is
get
Lil
a...
Bow Wow in that?
Oh yeah, you can hear him.
I don't think he was in that.
Just listen to that. There's
A little snippet in that. But yeah, like
Lil Bow Wow does the second verse when he's talking about doing sexual things to Jay-Z and shit. It's fucked up.
sexual things to Jay-Z.
Oh
I
no!
must have missed that whole shit.
I'm just joking. I'll show you
I know.
after the podcast. But I forgot where we were on, what we were talking about.
We were talking about Lil Pump saying he's the most lyrical.
Oh fuck!
So we were going around. Yeah, that's a hard no.
just saying Gucci Gang over and over gives him about the lyrical complexity of Rihanna. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
and none of the attractiveness that comes with that.
Yeah, you gotta kind of have that.
Yep. Rihanna's
Yeah.
got that on lock.
Correct.
Booty on lock.
It's like you almost like experience her pictures with 5 senses at the same time. You know what I mean? Like that's how
Oh,
crazy
geez.
it is.
So so you got a couple things written down. You want to
Sure.
go through them?
Yeah, let's go through them. So I wanted to bring up with this whole Lil Pump shit to tie it in. What does lyrical mean to you in terms of hip hop, music in general?
Yeah, see, this is another one of those undefined things that you can quantify it, but everybody's gonna say, "Well, that's your opinion." It's
Yeah.
like, well, wait, when you're telling me Lil Pump is lyrical, and I'm telling you Nas is more lyrical than Lil Pump, and then you go, "Well, I mean that's your opinion."
Yeah.
I'm fighting you. I'm fighting.
Straight up.
I'm throwing.
Just
Can we
square up.
throwing fists.
Can we acknowledge the large part of the population who don't even care about lyrics and songs? I don't
see that's
that's how mumble raps.
Like,
are.
why,
That's the
why,
thing.
why do these people like exist? I don't understand.
Yeah, you got your, like, a lot of rappers have said this before. You got your beat people, you got your lyric people, you got your vibe people, whatever the fuck. You got these different type of people that listen to rap for different things. But now we're talking about one thing.
Yeah.
So lyrically, what do you quantify as lyrical
Like
for rap?
I'm not even gonna make you pick your top lyricist or even your
No,
top
don't have to
5
do
for
that.
an
Just
example.
quantify
Yeah.
what you like, what you think lyricism is itself.
Does anybody want? I'll take it.
Go ahead.
You know.
You go first.
I think And I'll say a couple names because I actually did see these people live, or their music made a few pieces. But like when you say lyrical, and outside of tossing the Jay-Z's and Nas's, you have Aesop Rock that released Labor Days, and that was a long ass time ago. That was 90s, and like it's one of those albums that I have been listening to since way back when, that I can listen to, and at each stage of my life I understand it differently because of the words, the vocabulary that's contained in it, as well as how you ride the beat. So I think lyrical to me means who has the biggest vocabulary and actually uses it in a good fashion, like not just throwing words in there because, hey, this word rhymes, but actually having shit that molds well with what they say. So like lyric, vocabulary, and making that shit fit and showing me that you understand those words. That's what lyrical means to me.
Okay. Well, okay, to play devil's advocate, you're saying, the variety of words you use means more lyrical?
Sure.
Is that what I'm getting? So, okay, so what about someone like MF Doom, who we saw on that graph? He is one of the rappers with the most words, but he's also one of the rappers. Like we've talked about him before. He's an abstract rapper. Like everything he does seems it's brilliant, but it seems like a freestyle. Everything that he does seems like an exercise in lyricism. Like he's not necessarily tickling your taint with stories. He's using words and molding them to make sense without them making sense.
Right, but he actually does do that. Like if you listen to on certain albums, he was like, I think one of his lyrics was like,
there.
I got this girl and she wants me to duke her. I told her I come scoop around 8. She said super. That sounds great. Shorty girl's a trooper, and no matter what I needed to do, she'd be like super. You know what I mean? Like he can do the storytelling shit, and that's really dope. And like his collaboration projects with Adult Swim were like just unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? And Danger Doom and all that shit was dope. But like he can actually do that, and he has vocabulary to back it up too. So it's like, that's what I consider lyrics.
Okay. So that's word variety. What I consider lyricism is so fucking hard. Like it's hard to quantify. But I mean, you got words. You gotta be able to use them. You gotta have a good flow. I particularly like people who can craft a story well with words and rhyme them well. I like. When it comes to lyricism, I like complex rhyme schemes.
Okay.
And, you're all those fucking whatever rap keywords that they use, metaphors, and some other one that I can't even think of.
Yeah.
Punchlines,
Complex
whatever.
rhyme schemes. So Tupac must be out for you then.
But Tupac,
Yeah.
Tupac could tell a story, though. Like, okay, so
Like a story that makes you like think about
things. My favorite stuff from Tupac was his woke stuff, was his
Sure.
conscious material.
Sure.
Like Dear Mama, that was like, it's a beautiful fucking song.
Yeah.
Like
I've always been into like having like actual like events or current like status of things in your songs, and like even pop culture like references and stuff.
But that dates them though, and
it's true.
It can make them.
That's
It can
good,
hurt them
though.
as being classics, though. In my opinion, there's
I know what
there's
you're
definitely
saying.
some good ones, but like when I was listening to all my albums, I'm hearing like Clinton,
I like when it
like
helps.
fuck
yeah.
Clinton, and I'm like,
You
well,
gotta-
When it helps me date the song, it's actually kind of like, oh, now I know when this song was from.
Yeah.
And it brings you back to that time
Yeah,
and
all right.
space. Yeah.
You relate to it because you actually were around.
Yep.
So a lot of times
Yeah.
during that
Episodes
time,
2,
even if you were like
like
4
Attack of
years
the
old, you're like,
Clones.
oh, I was like 4 when that was happening.
Yeah. I think that's really dope. That's a
Yep,
really
yep,
dope
yep.
insight.
how about you,
Yeah.
Alex? You got anything?
For
Like
What do you quantify as like a good lyricist in rap? I guess content matters too. Like it's a package for me.
it's one of those things where you need to use your words, you need to use them in a manner that not only makes sense but is somewhat creative, because if everyone's just, slinging the same words around in the same order, it's going to get old eventually.
Yeah.
You get that in a lot of 90s rap. I'm sorry.
Also, the content does have to be somewhat interesting, because you could be using some of the most unique words that anyone's ever used, but at the same time, if you're not saying shit,
That just reminds me of MF Doom. But how?
I think it's kind of a sliding scale where...
I think you should listen to MF Doom.
Maybe a specific rapper is better at their storytelling. Maybe that's what makes them a great lyricist. Maybe some other people are great at rhyming. Maybe that makes them a good lyricist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
It's... Maybe you just give so much points for each thing, and
Yeah.
We should try to get something put together where we each quantify lyricism, and we get our columns does this rapper check this off?
Yeah.
Check this off. And then we unwittingly have decided who is the actual best lyricist of all time.
I kind of like that.
Out of 10 fucking...
We'll have a bunch of categories enough to check off.
Categories. Which rapper checks this off? Which one checks this off? And it's oh, fuck, this guy's 10 out of 10.
He has negative.
This is quantified. This is quantifiable information. We're going to science this bitch.
Right? Science at the fuck
lyrics, 5 out of 10, but their ability to tell a story is a 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta ride MF Doom's dick a little bit later on in this, because
you're not already.
I kind of am.
Really good. He's really good, but it's what one of my favorite lyricists of all time has in his repertoire, and this is I'd have to Google when this album came out, but on this unique scale, I guess we can post a link or whatever in the whatever. But on this unique tool, you have people that are towards the back of the line that are really good at telling stories and shit like that. You have Pac, which is between 3,000 and 4,500 unique words, but you have
DMX damn near at the bottom.
Yeah, you have who else do we want to look up?
The guy on what we're talking about right now, referencing, is the guy on Reddit updated that the largest vocabulary in hip hop. Mm-hmm. He updated that on January 21st, so it's updated from 2014, which it was originally, and he added more rappers. So it tells you how many unique words a rapper uses in their vocabulary from their work that they've done so far. And, DMX and Tupac, they're near the bottom, but they're still considered,
great lyricists.
The top tier rappers of all time, pretty much.
Yeah. And then
it's why are they there, and why are they so low on the vocabulary?
Word count's not necessarily everything either, because if your word count's low but you're great at everything else, you can still...
word count. Leave the word count to the fucking professor, okay?
Right.
We don't give a shit. We'll double space that bitch. We'll get that sucker to 6 pages.
Right? Yeah. Shout out Matt Daniels for putting that shit together, though.
Is that who did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Daniels, thank you, sir. You've done us a great service.
A wonderful tool in the fact that...
The DMX thing, you're going to need to fake and bump that up, though. I'm going to need him over 6.
Dude, just slide into DMX's DMs on Twitter or something. Just be your next album, you got to bump these numbers up, my guy.
Did you see his first show back? He had a club... It looked like a club show, his first show back, and he was coming with that same energy he left with. I'm excited, man. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, he's gonna do Fyre Festival 2020.
2020 Fyre, dude. Did anybody watch that?
Oh yeah, I watched part, but he was watching it, and I watched part of it.
That shit was crazy. The amount of shit that was going on with that. Hey, let's put together a music festival in super short time.
Yep. It's it should usually take 18 months to do this, but we're at 4.
Right.
I'm just sitting here looking like they're going to make this guy president when he gets out of jail.
They are.
It's we got Trump, who's does the same thing, but's actually more inept than this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just man. And then, he gets out on bail and starts running a scam right away. That shit is crazy. I watched both the Netflix and the Hulu versions, and I encourage you, if you haven't seen them, to watch both of them. Mm-hmm. But one is definitely, you can tell that more of the employee side had something to do with it, and the other was incorporating Billy
Yeah.
into the story.
The
and
Netflix
like,
one had Jerry Media doing a lot of
Yep.
like inside
I heard
stuff,
that they
whereas the other one
tried to get the interview with the guy or whatever, but he wanted money and Netflix wouldn't pay him. But then allegedly Netflix is saying that Hulu must have paid him for the interview.
Hulu's like,
well.
come get this bag.
Yep.
He needs it. He's part of Ja Rule's named in it. It's like $100 million lawsuit. Like, the workers haven't got paid. I don't know if people got refunds
there's
or not.
damages too. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
50 Cent is just giggling
Yeah.
like a schoolgirl right now,
course.
just giggling.
Of course.
He's like, I warned y'all.
And, like, what's crazy is Ja Rule came out and he was on, what is it, Drink Kings? What's Noriega's podcast?
Drink Champs.
Drink Champs. He was on Drink Champs and he was like, man, I gotta admit, you know, the whole thing was like my vision. And I'm like, yo, is that the liquor talking or is that...
Yeah, is that for real? Did
Like-
you just dig yourself a hole? Did
Right.
you Joe Budden it, dude?
And it's like, yeah, that, I mean, the amount of stuff that was put together and then the people laughing at, you know, well-to-do millennials that got taken advantage of was also another thing that was, you know, happening at the time. And of course I laughed. It's funny,
Yeah.
you know, but scams were crazy with that. But I mean, I can't remember who said it, but they said it best. Like, if you're paying over $1,000 to go to a Blink-182 concert, like...
you know,
you can go.
it's one of those things where it's just watch this become like Diablo 2, where like you get scammed and then you do that same scam on other people.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I know, like right after it happened, there was like the whole thing where I don't know if it was real or not, but there was like a normal, like not rich guy who like got a ticket to it, and he was just like, he said it wasn't that bad, and it was just funny watching all these rich people like saying, "Oh no!"
God.
Like, you get out there and they say villas and you have like a FEMA tent
Yeah, they're
with
FEMA
a
tents.
soaked mattress in it.
Yep.
Tons of crates of liquor. I think they said the duties on the liquor were like a few $100,000.
Oh, it was
It was like $2
alone.
million worth of
He bought
liquor.
$2 million, and
Yeah.
they said that it was ridiculous amount of tax or whatever and stuff.
Yeah, they said
They were
the
planning
port
on-
authorities were holding it like hostage or whatever.
Oh, that was the
merch.
merchandise.
Yeah,
they
the
didn't even get to
merch.
sell any merchandise because it was caught up at customs because he didn't pay the like customs
funny.
fee.
They were planning to rob customs.
Yep.
Were they really?
That's what it says in the one.
Yeah. And then
I kind of want to watch these. Now.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good.
He had one guy on there that he was like, look, we're not going to be able to get all this water that we need in.
Yep.
We need you to go talk to some guy. And by talk to some guy, he meant give him a blowy.
Oh, I heard about that. I heard about that.
So, like, apparently this guy, of course, obviously he wouldn't go on any special saying that with having social media. So he didn't have social media. And the replies from social media got back to him. And he's like, oh, I just enjoy it that I'm a meme now. I'm like, you really don't know what that means, do you?
You're being made fun of, sir.
Right?
Yep.
Do you want to talk about that last one that you got?
What last one? We already covered everything.
We didn't talk about that.
We did.
The Joyner Lucas thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we didn't talk about it.
Like, I brought it up as
You
part
did,
of
yeah.
the bullshit claims that happened this year.
Okay. But I'm countering that, though.
Yeah, okay, you can.
The Joyner Lucas did say that I'm Not Racist paved the way for This Is America, and we talked about this right before we started recording.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about it again briefly. I kind of agree with Joyner Lucas in the fact that, in my opinion, which is humble now, it's no longer absolute because this is racial. I gotta cover my bases. I believe that what I'm Not Racist did, how did I fucking word it before? I can't remember. Like, This Is America visually conveyed that message amazingly. But I'm Not Racist conveyed it better, well, lyrically, in a sense. So what they're, they're not necessarily going for the same message, but racial tension, I would say, is what they were both kind of going for. This Is America, I think, visually did it well, artistically, everything. But I'm Not Racist did it as a song itself, lyrically better, conveyed the message.
Right, but again, without even like getting into it and dissecting specifically my issues with I'm Not Racist and the fact that there was not equal representation, whatever. What I'm saying is just what you said earlier on the other people that were like, oh, I paved the way for that shit. Like, if you didn't sign Childish Gambino, fuck off.
Yep.
Also, there's no way that you can tell me you're the first person to do songs on racial inequality, racial injustices. That just be flat out
Well,
wrong.
he said specifically for This Is America, though. I don't know why. But if that just made me think to compare the two, and I think they did it well in the opposite way of each other.
I think that's just
one visually, one lyrically.
I think that's just a way for like
Audio
buzz grabs
lead.
because me personally, like I said, with that track and like the representation of, the part that was the Caucasian male or the African American, or I prefer the term black. The black male had to say that both of those arguments were not built on the same basis. It didn't even sound like the amount of time was put forth. And I'd rather have something that is whole-assed and half-assed. And that's a half-assed body of work to me. Like, there's tons of stuff that speak on the same topics that, wasn't as popular, maybe was more popular, but when you look at it through a different lens. But I don't believe this whole paved the way bullshit.
So where do you rank him as a lyricist then?
And Joyner Lucas, he's not on my radar as a lyricist because
Well, yeah, that's pretty much what you said before.
he's super corny to me. He's super like, okay, this is the end thing, let's do it. I don't like rappers with gimmicks. I like rappers that visually I can't see them. I can't see what clothes they're wearing. I can't hear what brands they're wearing. I can't see where they come
Kanye.
on. Like I want. So listen on that. I want to be able to feel that through music. I don't like Kanye because of the brand shit. I like Kanye because when he put on 808s and Heartbreak, if you've ever had a breakup in your life, you can relate to that shit and you're like, wow, I really made it through that time. Wow, I really did think like this, Like,
Maybe
I
I
like
should buy
late
some
registration, graduation, Shout out to the plug, Y'all can't see him in the camera. I'll wiggle my feet on the camera a little bit.
Oh, God.
But, you can't...
Shout out to Nike, motherfucker.
Oh, you're talking about your feet.
Yeah, the Roxas bitch.
But yeah, it's like that's not what I relate to, and I don't relate to gimmicks. Like, Joyner Lucas seems gimmicky to me.
He's like the Tekashi 6ix9ine, but instead of trolling, he just... I guess maybe he is kind of trolling with this "I'm the best there's ever been."
All this shit that they're talking about is all to get buzz.
Sure,
But Joyner Lucas, I'm putting in my modern rapper basket.
What?
Like
No,
I'm not saying he's better than Kendrick or J. Cole or on par.
But he's in the discussion.
But he's like, when I think of modern rappers, he's one I could tolerate and listen to.
Okay.
Like, Logic's, he comes off as really corny, but lyrically and flow, it's really good, and his in-house production is stupid good.
Yeah.
Like, it's nasty good, dirty good. But we're not gonna get in depth with "I'm not racist" because that will make me racist, and I don't want to go there. I guess
And that'd be a long podcast.
yeah. We'll talk about it after the podcast.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to have to edit anything.
Yeah.
Bleep that.
Okay. So we do. So what these guys are doing is pretty much just garnering fucking attention.
Yeah.
What about the Jermaine Dupri? We didn't even talk about that, did we?
I mentioned all of these stuff.
Oh, whatever. Fucking move on. Move on.
Yeah,
All right.
Jermaine Dupri, he's some rap producer.
He
right?
did. He was on the "Welcome to Atlanta" song. and the remix.
down.
Oh
And
yeah,
that was
I remember
it.
that.
Jermaine Dupri.
He was
Lil
on-
Brat, Lil Bow Wow.
He was on another song.
He was in. You remember the song?
no,
The
he's
Freaks
in-
Come
he
Out
got-
at Night.
He got an award for writing, didn't he, or some shit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wrote for a lot of people.
Okay.
And he was when he was
Well,
a
so
kid.
did Mace, but he doesn't really
Yeah,
get much
Money
acknowledgement.
Mace. Definitely super lyrical.
Was that credits? Like, maybe he just had more credits than the other person? Or do they actually try to quantify that on how good you are? I'm sure they use sales
I
or
have
something.
to figure. I don't know, but yeah,
I want
do
to.
that.
Okay, so at work, I get to listen to music constantly, or listen to whatever I want with headphones. So what I did in the past 3 days, when I started it, was I just started shooting through albums, hip hop albums. I'll do rock eventually, or grunge when I get there, but I'm thinking about it because I've never been an album guy. I've never listened to entire works when a person releases music. Mm-hmm. I essentially, let's put the infamous. Yes, let's use that as an example. I never listened to the full work until this week, but I still heard a ton of songs from it. Yeah. Survival of the Fittest and oh shit, Shook Ones Part 2. Like I almost forgot. Like those are top tier to me.
I'm a big album guy. I like to listen to the whole album if I like a song.
I think that's what we agreed a lot when we met. At the job was like, holy shit, how do you know about this song? Because it's like. You listen to like the singles, and then there's a shit buried under the singles, and then the shit that's buried under the shit that's buried under the singles is crazy. Like, I'm like, how do you know about this?
I'm starting to appreciate it more, and I have conspiracy theories too that we'll talk about.
They try to hide the actual good tracks under the radio tracks. So you don't actually hear.
Okay, I want to talk about that too because that I think is bullshit. On some albums, I think it's bullshit. I'm going to give you the list of what I listened to just in the past 3 days. Liquid Swords by Jizza. Mad Villainy, which is the Madlib and MF Doom collaboration. 808s and Heartbreak by Mr. West. The infamous Mobb Deep. Food, MF Doom.
Yes.
This is the order I listened to them in as well. And I didn't get enough Doom, so I put Operation Doomsday after Food, which is also MF Doom. Then I listened to Illmatic again, just because that's Nas. And then I went Resurrection Common. I wanted to get some diversity.
That's a good one.
Then I went Low End Theory, which is Tribe Called Quest. Ooh, didn't get enough, so I went with Midnight Marauders after that. And then I'm like, you know what? I didn't get enough Wu-Tang. I'm gonna go Only Built for Cuban Links. Raekwon.
You were hungry for some of that ice cream,
Can we pause a second? Just pause your list for a second. What the fuck cued this rap buffet of albums? Like, you were like, yo, I'm hungry.
Somebody was on Reddit.
This unquenchable
Well, I had to,
Exactly. They're releasing so many albums now. Why are you listening to old shit?
Because I never listened to these entire full works.
Sure.
Yep.
And I essentially looked up a list. Like, I looked up a bunch of articles of fucking editors with, their thumbs up their ass and their ego up their ass about what's the greatest hip-hop albums of all time. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's just put a bunch in a list. And then I started listening to them, and I'm like, wait, what wasn't on there? I was like,
The Chronic.
I didn't get there yet, but some of these weren't even on there. Like MF Doom, I think Mad Villainy was on there, but Food and Operation Doomsday wasn't on there. 808s and Heartbreaks wasn't on there, but College Dropout was. So essentially, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna just start listening to different works or whatever categories, see if I get enough of them or if I need more of them or if I've heard their best and I don't necessarily need to bother with the rest, but I probably will.
Sure.
After Raekwon, fuck, what did I do next? I did Doggy Style, Snoopy
That's
Doggy.
a good one. That's a classic.
Then I went It Takes a Nation, which is a Public Enemy, and I'm a huge fan of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Yeah.
Most popular song of theirs of all time is in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I think that put him on the map, honestly. But no, Public Enemy, Public Enemy, I was not actually a fan of. So I decided to listen to an entire works of theirs to see if I'm missing something. Turns out I hate Flava Flav, and I can only hear "Yeah Boy" once before I get annoyed. I learned that.
He's everybody's favorite hype man.
Then I listened to The Diary, Scarface, and then I ended it today for this week with Let's Get Free, Dead Prez.
Okay.
And that was a mistake. I went too far there. I needed to I needed to backpedal. That album was not for me. It was not for my skin complexion. I learned that. I will tell you how I felt listening to Dead Prez.
You probably
imagine me walking down a hallway, turning and looking into a room and seeing that they have a what do you call that? Like, they have like donuts and like free coffee on the table.
Complimentary?
Yeah, complimentary food. And I look in that room and I see that and I'm like, no one's going to know. And then I go into the room and then I find out that I just walked into a Black Panther meeting. But they don't tell me to go. They say, this will be, you need to hear this. And then they sit me down and berate me for, an hour.
I was going to say, you're the
That's
one
what it was.
You're the one that they let live and go.
That's what I felt like listening to Dead Prez, but
Tell your
masses.
friends about this
Yep,
shit.
exactly. Tell the masses.
but it was definitely eye-opening, and it was a great bit of work. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad I did listen to it, even though I felt like I was not the demographic.
So, like, classically, and you listening to albums.
Dead Prez was, like, that was... Have you heard that whole album?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, classically, when you listen to albums, right?
Yeah.
Do you try to go for the stuff that you can relate to? Do you try to mix it up to say, hey, this sounds like, a safe thing to listen to? Do you sound like, hey, this is edgy, I should gravitate towards edgy? Like, what do you do?
This was essentially, I was going for what I consider classics, but what I see, the thing is I grew up poor, so I can I say that a lot. Fuck off. But that allows me to relate to a lot of rap that I wouldn't normally be able to, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Like, coming up, like, I mean, we didn't grow up around black people.
Sure.
Like, first black person I talked to was, like, Kenny. Like, freshman year of high school, maybe.
Jeez.
But before that was, Eminem already opened the door for that. After I fell in love with California Love on MTV when I was a kid, Eminem really opened the door for it.
Like, Kid Rock was there before.
Oh,
Kid Rock was there. I was a
Exactly.
Kid Rock fan. Yeah,
Holy
that was a mistake.
That
Lyrically, though,
Publicly,
Cowboy, Kid Rock. No.
Where's he at? Wait, where's he on the list of rappers?
Where's Fred Durst at?
I'm packing out my game and out my head out west. Where real women come. I don't know. But
Yeah.
that essentially opened the door for me. Like, I didn't have necessarily. This was like really Eminem. Like, that was at the height of internet, I guess, when we were just starting to be able to get it. Not necessarily me, because we didn't get a computer until late, and then it was Millennium Edition, Windows Millennium Edition, which that's a whole other story.
Yeah. Yep. I think
So I was late to the game, so I didn't have access to the Beastie Boys and shit like that.
Yep.
We didn't have cable or satellite until like my sophomore year in high school. So the only time I experienced hip hop was just going to friends' houses essentially, and they would have MTV on, and that's pretty much where I got my taste in
So
music.
it was the Great White
You're just gonna
Buffalo
forget
for
about
you.
the box, man?
the box was the shit.
Is that the one that they played at school?
Yep.
I
Yeah,
remember,
school
I
sometimes had
remember
it
just
on.
that being around the time Stankonia and like all
Yeah.
like Ludacris word of mouth. That shit was out. Oh, it was so good.
That's really good shit. And it's difficult for me to like quantify or try to think of like what the box was versus the shit that's out now, because you can go on YouTube and you have access to all this stuff, and where the box was just mainstream plugging away, like that was a lot of people's access, and it was very dope that you could like, it was essentially like a really cool thing where you could, for those of you that don't know, you could pay a fee to hear your song and see your music video played on a specific channel, and like that was just the best fucking thing ever, like requesting, and then you had TRL and shit after that. Like that's dope. I think that dynamic was dope.
But that was definitely dope. I remember because sometimes they'd have it on at school, so I'd get a taste there. Then the burning CD thing became a fad. That's when I had to somehow get a CD player. My first MP3 player was, God, how big were those fuckers? It was like a USB stick one that had the controls on it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit,
Maybe 4 megabytes.
I was going to mention your Zune, but...
Holy
4 megabytes? I got a Zune at some point.
Yeah.
It was, his brother's that I got.
Yep.
That was an amazing machine. I had that for a long time. But growing up that way, it put the chip on my shoulder. It allowed me to see things that someone else might not necessarily see. Like,
Yeah.
you really know what it's like getting fucked in the ass growing up poor, I guess.
But, but not thrown over the bridge.
Not thrown over the bridge.
It's
Okay.
like it's
And that
insane.
allows me to relate to a lot.
It's insane how much of that, have not culture, and to see it exaggerated and almost be the opposite now in hip hop is crazy, because like you have the have-nots who are talking about being disgruntled but actually still having a good time and doing what poor people do. And then you have, like grills. I'm not wearing one today, but most of the time I am. Grills actually came from like, it was cheaper to fix your teeth with gold than to actually get your teeth fixed with any other material to make them look not broken.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were walking around with golds in their mouth because they were poor, and then that trickled into hip hop, and it's like, oh shit, they got these gold grills. They're like wearing poor people stuff as a badge of honor, and like I think that whole dynamic is really
Fake
cool.
it until you make it is a really good aspect of rap and hip hop.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that in there. That's why you're getting all these, little pumps like I'm the best.
Like,
when they're not, it's like, well, fake it till you make it. Aim to where you want to be.
You can convince enough people that it's the truth.
Exactly. Some of the darker stuff. I've been in sketchy situations. I've definitely gone to the wrong parties as a kid. So that helps me relate to some of that, I guess.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think generally I can relate to a lot of the stuff.
Did you all have gangs up here? Like,
Kind
is gangs
of.
a thing up here?
They were hidden.
There were poser gangs.
Okay.
Is what I would
Well,
call
they,
them.
they were all like freaking out. Like, was it 10 years?
They were mostly just doing B&Es and stuff.
How like they were like, oh, this gang like from like somewhere where it's known for gangs like has people that came to this area.
Yeah, a satellite post in
Yeah.
Minnesota, in the Midwest, Crips in the Midwest, like
Yo.
some dumb shit like that. But no, there's definitely criminals. It's mostly all they
Well,
don't
it's
do.
mostly because
We don't have a lot of murder in this area specifically, but there's
Thefts
a
and
lot of
everything.
drugs.
There's a lot of like.
Oh, when I
drugs
grew
and
up,
theft, and it's all related to the
Yep.
poverty rate in
Well,
this area.
Yeah, like
correct.
college
Correct.
and even younger, like going to some specific parties, and then you find out the workings of that world, and you're like, oh, this was here the whole time. Like, there was a lot of that.
Was
it
it
you-
disheartening, isn't
Was
it?
it you who had like a phone or something stolen at a party or something? Or
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
You
that.
want to talk about that?
That was my
have it?
iPhone.
What's that?
I was at
Your
I-
what?
His
It was iPhone back.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, I missed my iPhone. But no, I was going to a girl's house that I was seeing, and there was sketchy people that were renting the house.
Yep.
And doing very sketchy things in that house, but I didn't care because I was getting ass.
Yeah, you're there to
So
get the cheeks.
ignore all that. and then they're like, oh yeah, there's like a van outside that's keeping tabs on everybody, like police van.
Wow.
Or whatever the fuck whoever's doing it, because the people in there are connected to the meth, like kingpin of the area,
Okay, yeah.
and I
It's
was
like,
like,
oh, no,
I
what
was
did I get
like,
myself into?
I'm like, wait, I've been going there for weeks now. Do they think I'm like dealing now, or am I part of this, or do they think I'm like? Probably not. They probably just think
probably
I'm
on a
buying
watch
and
list.
partaking.
Probably.
And
Yeah.
letting me go to
Come
get
on,
the big
man.
fish.
Aren't meth people skinny?
Yeah, I was driving around
like this
town
guy
one
looks
day
healthy.
with that girl, and she even pointed out like, "Oh, it's this person. Like that's the one that the cops are after." And I'm like, "Really nice car they were driving in," and I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" And I'm like, "Wait, they're right there, and the cops want this person." And she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like memorizing the license plate, and I never did anything. Cut that, bleep that. I saved the whole Midwest.
You
okay?
saved the Midwest from the meth kingpin.
But no, I didn't do anything about it.
yeah,
I'm sure they figured it out.
you can't. I mean, you can't take on. You know what I mean? Like
It's not my cup of tea.
Yep.
Maybe your
Yeah.
cup is full of syrup and lean.
scissor.
But anyway, all that dumb shit out of the way. We'll cut that whole segment, and we're back. No, I'm kidding.
I think it was educational.
Very educational.
Does anybody have any questions on the albums I listened to?
Yeah, I want to hear about 808s and Heartbreak.
I was waiting for you to ask that. Well,
I knew
sir,
you
let
were.
me pull up my 6-page essay.
6-page
God.
dissertation.
It was existing.
Like a very bird's eye view about.
It was okay.
You're not a auto-tune guy.
I'm not an auto-tune guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was really processed. And this is like biased about it.
That's
aside from having Kanye West on it.
Sure.
It was processed a lot. There was a lot of the auto-tune. It sounded really poppy. Like, that's not a hip-hop album to me.
Okay.
Like, at all. It was just all listen to it. I'm like, I was getting, I was catching the vibes, like the heartbreak, and then I caught the 808s as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I get it, but then I'm like, this is all like radio. Like, this is all poppy. Like, it seemed to me.
Sure, but
like,
what I'm saying, was it, so the themes in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how he conveyed his position in those themes, could you relate to that is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he said some good things in it. Like, I can't pinpoint a lot of it because it was a whole album and I congested a lot. But no, it was good.
Yeah,
It was good. I'm gonna next week. I have College Dropout on the list, and I'm gonna put that on there as well. But no, I liked it.
Okay.
But it made me miss the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Kanye West paved the way. Right?
Sure.
2019.
Whatever. Say whatever you want. Just give me my weekend.
Right?
We're still feeling the effects of that album today, though, just with the production and what he was going for, how he was trying to move it forward. He was trying, because back then, like, how many people were doing auto-tune? Him and T-Pain, right?
And then you had Wayne that kind of
But that's a
dabbled in it a
gimmick.
little bit, but like.
Well, it's
And Lil Wayne's called himself the new
more
Tupac.
acceptable
Put him on that.
in today's and the minimalistic kind of nature of that album.
Yeah, and you have an entire genre that's built around like emo rap of that thing. Like Lil Uzi Vert is in that same vein of 808s and Heartbreak.
There was very limited rap. It was more like a prototype of Drake and Auto-Tune and Lil Wayne.
I don't see any Wayne in that album.
I don't know either. I don't know. It just seemed like production. I didn't pull the production really from it, but that's because I have modern stuff. I didn't listen to it during its time.
Sure.
Well, the album in its context, he was so sick of doing the same thing, or was it something to do with his mother was the reason why he did this album the way that he did it? Mm-hmm. I can't remember. I know that he wanted something different.
It seemed like
sound.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely got a sound.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was different, but yeah, I guess I didn't really dig too deep into it. If I gave it another listen, I could tear that shit apart if you want me to, but I don't need to do that for you guys. But no, I liked it.
What did you think
What was I gonna say?
What did you think of Doggy Style?
Doggy Style was amazing, of course.
It's one of the greatest of all time. Like,
I like it.
I put
it's
Snoop
definitely up
probably in
there.
my top 15.
Yeah, I could take that. And he's been around for a long time, and he's had a lot of time to mess up, and he has. But like,
what did I have to say about
when
these?
it's
I can't
good,
remember.
it's great.
But yeah, I'm gonna listen to more next week and listen to a lot.
Marauders.
Midnight
boy.
Marauders was fucking dope. Like pretty much everything on here was dope. Mad Villainy was honestly, Operation Doomsday was my favorite of Doom.
Okay.
That's his. That was his first.
His
first studio album. Mad Villainy seemed like an exercise to me in what could be. Mm-hmm. It was good.
One of those creative writing exercises where the
Mad Villainy is pretty much that. Everything was an exercise. The skits, the old show, Fantastic Four show skits in there, just filled with it, just everywhere, everywhere. But it was good still. I can get breakdowns for all this shit, but we don't have much time. So let's, if anybody has any questions, if they want me to talk about any of the albums that I listened to, I could.
We can go, and if you have any other albums that you think Brice or myself or any of the castmates should listen to, Put that shit in the comments.
Yep. Let's get through gaming quick because we don't have a lot of time at all.
Yep.
We burnt through hip hop pretty fast.
Holy shit.
So we're just gonna 50 minutes. Yep. So we're gonna start with just the biggest story and get through that. Epic Store, who is the owners of Fortnite or whatever.
Epic Games.
Epic
Remember when they
Games.
used to be the owners of Gears of War, but then like
Ha, funny.
they done
I
Clippy
played
the
the
way they
shit
did.
out of that game. Shout out Mike and G. I played
Sure,
the
they
shit
used
out
that
of
money
game.
from when they got rid of Gears to make Fortnite, obviously.
Yeah, but
They canceled Unreal Tournament 4 for
That's-
Fortnite.
that's funny.
What?
I can see it.
Yeah.
Fortnite will make more money.
Yeah. definitely.
But anyway, Epic Games has its own storefront,
Yep.
like Steam,
Yep.
not even close to Steam. But they poached Metro, which is one of my favorite franchises. They poached a game from there.
Super hard.
So it will now only be sold on PC through Epic Games Store for the first year.
Yep.
However, piracy still exists. I'm going to throw that out there.
Like
Because they
Do
need
it.
to be this because Epic Games is extremely anti-consumer, and the only lesson they're going to be taught is one of grief and sorrow. And I plan on
Those are strong
not partaking
words.
in
think it's
any
funny.
illegal acts that I don't want to.
That
Steam-
Steam, it literally made Steam literally finally came out and said that it was unfair that they did
Yeah,
that.
it was a week before launch, Chris. This game was launching a week before launch.
There were ads on
It
Steam
was
for it, I think.
pre-ordered and advertised on Steam.
Yep.
And then Epic Games just sucked it up and was like, this is
shit.
exclusive now
like
for a
somebody-
year. You will still be able to play it on Steam and have access to the DLC, everything about the game on Steam still if you pre-ordered it. And I woke up to that news, so I wasn't able to pre-order it before they cut it off.
shit.
So I currently don't have access to that Metro game.
You gotta think though, like that's like a lot of the culture, and I can say this
Yeah.
from a position of not understanding games. A lot of the culture is starting to bridge the gap because if it's limited and if it's exclusive, people get more
Yep.
excited about
it's
it.
just like only on title.
Yeah, only on title, or we
Here's
only have
the blowback.
250 pairs of it and shit, and people get pissed off over it.
Oh, yeah.
But they ultimately either still giving into it, or it's not enough people that are pissed off and
wait the year.
active.
Yep. Here's the blowback for it though. First off, I will say that Metro 4K Games or whatever, they did not get the 12% advertised deal that Epic Games is giving to every other developer that they're claiming to give to. Or 20%, whatever fuck
They
it
had
was.
to have done it more.
They are doing special deals to be able to poach these games
I'm
a
sure
week
they are,
before
yeah.
release. They get special deals. They are being anti-consumer. This is poaching in the strictest sense. This is a game that got
Capitalism.
advertising for months and pre-ordering on Steam, and they just get sucked right before launch. So the people who are excited about it, have to fucking buy it on the Epic Games Store. Which Epic Games storefront, by the way, is in no way near Steam in any sense of the way. There's no friends list. There's no achievements. There's no chat. There's no... I'm pretty sure there's no even fucking rating system for games. There's no return policy.
So
They're
what-
hard dicking you. They are 100% anti-consumer.
What's the difference between the two storefronts? Do you have to pay a premium to be able to buy from one place versus the other?
No.
Literally. Oh, and they also do not have that. The thing where the prices change based on your location. Steam has that. Epic Games does not have that. So let's say you lived in a developing nation. You are able to buy AAA games for essentially $20 over the $60. But now with Epic Games, it's flat everywhere.
Yep.
So people will not be able to experience it in the normal ways that they would be able to if it was on
Yeah,
Steam.
so like people in China who like
But to answer your
Yep.
question though, like Steam's established, has a lot of functionality because they've been around. Epic is just there to sell
I think
games.
Steam had chat
makes
even
sense.
back in the early days.
yeah,
like
back in
Counter-Strike
the when
days
did
and stuff.
when did we
Yeah.
sign up for Steam? Like 2006.
Yeah, like a long time ago.
Yeah, we have so many years under our belt in Steam, and don't get me wrong, Steam has done shady shit too. Nothing this bad, but I will say this, like, I may sound like a dick rider on Steam, but I like convenience as a consumer because that's consumers like that, and I am all about competition, but I'm not about this shit, especially now when it affects me. Like before I'm like, you know what? You're not as good as Steam. I won't use you, whatever. And now they're trying to force me to use you. I'm gonna fuck you up, Epic Games. But what people are doing now, the blowback for this is people are canceling all their pre-orders on Steam, and they are review bombing the shit out of the entire franchise on anything they can get their hands on.
Jeez.
So they're running it into the ground.
The problem is a lot of that they already made most of their money on, to tell you the truth.
Who did?
Metro, they've already sold a lot, like those old
Yeah,
games.
Metro Last Light, Metro Redux, and stuff.
They've made most of their money on that already.
Oh yeah, but not this. This is a new game. They still gotta make money on
Yeah,
this.
but I'm saying review bombing their old games isn't gonna do.
But
that
they're review bombing the new game, or they will review bomb the new game, because I don't think they can yet,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
unless
I think
you're a
they can.
curator on Steam who's had an early copy. But like people are canceling their pre-orders because Steam does give the refunds.
Well, then there's just gonna be like a thing saying like, oh, this EVE Online will just be like, yeah, these are just butthurt people.
That's fine. But you understand the situation. Look up anything you want to regarding this. Form your own opinions. But do know that this is poaching. This is what you do not do.
It's convenient to have everything in one place instead of one game on this store, one game on this store. One game
I'm
on
definitely
this
about that. Because I want to play the Division 2.
But Epic isn't the only one that has different stores.
Yeah,
for
EA
instance,
and
or like,
EA and Ubisoft were, but the thing is, they're actually developing games. Epic, made Fortnite in the last like 6 years or some shit? You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
Fortnite is a big thing though, and it's like one of those things where they put enough gimmicks in that to make it sell as
you put
crazy
enough
as it did.
copyrighted dances in there.
Yeah, like that's a crazy dynamic too.
And if you don't want to do anything illegal and you don't want to buy from Epic Games, just wait that year. Avoid as many spoilers as you can, and then it will be on discount when it is released on Steam. And you'll get it cheaper. Yay! Or try to find some sort of key online or something from someone who pre-ordered on Steam. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out, gamers. We got this.
Right?
But I'm all about a
post that in
boycott
the
now
comment.
for Epic Games right now. Resident Evil 2 Remaster. Let's just try to blow through as much as we can. Resident Evil 2 Remaster looks absolutely fucking amazing. I watched Brian play it over at Other Chris's, and I just watched him play the intro because I'm like, nope, I want to buy this. I want this. I don't want to see it all.
Did you get to see Wesker?
I did not see Wesker. It's just the beginning part of the game that he played, and it looked fucking amazing. It looked like, it looked so good. Because I'm not a big fan of the Resident Evil series, but I did play Resident Evil 2. I did watch someone play 4, and I played the one where they're in
Condition Zero.
no, like maybe 6 or 5, where they're in some sort of
Biohazard.
developing nation. No, not that one. And they're like shooting a bunch of people. Who knows?
I think I know.
They're straight.
Even though I thought 4 had something like that, but I could be wrong.
Yep, they're
No,
in a
4
developing
was-
nation in a helicopter just strafing zombies, right?
Oh, yeah.
Foron is Leon from 2.
Is it?
And where he goes to that mansion and he's doing all that shit in that mansion trying to save like the president's daughter or some ridiculous shit.
Leon.
That's considered like the best one in the series.
By
Is
some
Resident Evil
people.
4.
It all
Because that's when
depends
they
on-
first started the over the shoulder camera for the series
Oh, it was
rather
fixed
than the
before
fixed.
that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
and I
people
enjoyed
there's
the
a-
fixed
Yeah,
camera.
there's a cult following for that fixed
Yeah.
camera. Like
I enjoy
was doing my
either, I
research on
guess.
that.
But did anybody get to watch it or play it? And thinking about buying it?
I'm not following it all that much. No.
Okay, not a huge fan of the series. It's okay.
Wow.
I just haven't played it in so long.
GameStop is no longer selling the company, probably because they couldn't get a good deal. They offered
Yeah,
them.
fuck off. You
So
can't
they're
get
getting somebody
outta
offered
here.
him $20 and they turned
Right.
it down.
They're giving them the deal that they've been giving people for years.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, you got some brand new Tindy switches. I'll give you $10 and start credit.
I heard
for it. Nah,
there's
fuck
rumors
outta
that
here.
they're making like more compact switches and stuff like that, or something like that.
I'm
Rumors
gonna.
are that-
Man, I'm
I want
borderline
that.
waiting
They're
out. 'cause,
making
like,
they're making a smaller Switch, and then
Yep.
they're also gonna have.
It will have
It's gonna
detachable
be like
Joy-Cons.
you know the online right now. They're thinking of having some premium content for people who are willing to pay like an upcharge. So if they did something cool like the games with gold,
Yeah,
or the Xbox Pass where you can play a game for like
Yeah,
a
I'd be
month
in
or
it.
whatever.
Sure.
You know, a game that you normally wouldn't play like for a month for free. You know, and then the next month there's a new game. You know that. Might be
I would do that.
know.
I'm excited
What
for.
you need to do is let them play it for a month, and then the next month,
It's
for that
like-
next month, have it as a discounted rate to buy
Someone
it.
be like,
Yeah.
I don't want to spend $60 on Mario, but if I get it with my online that I'm paying instead of $2 a month, like $7 a month for. I mean,
Yeah.
And Nintendo is notorious for fuck your discounts.
Yep.
You do
it
not get
is.
discounts from Nintendo.
Yep.
They're
if it's
like,
on the eShop, the game has to have been out for at least a year or a year and a half before you start getting like 25% discounts and stuff. And that's just on that.
that's probably just a promotional period
Yeah,
too. Like,
Jeez.
if you want Mario Party, Smash Brothers, Odyssey, it's $60 for the rest of your life. Or go to GameStop and get it for $55
Right.
used.
Jeez.
Just to jump around quick, Netflix is doing a Resident Evil series.
That'll be good.
So that connects
getting-
with what I talked about with Resident Evil before. So see that segue that I did that was poor?
Oh, yeah.
I did that for you, audience.
It's somebody who's making Resident Evil who thinks that people are infected with.
I don't know what it's
Is that
about.
where-
I
is
didn't
that
get
where
any
the
more.
Umbrella Corp
It's
is
gonna
from?
be like Bandersnatch, but
Yeah,
the
Umbrella
guy's
Corp
making
is
it.
That's
Resident
gonna be
Evil.
like Bandersnatch. Yep.
Yeah, choose your own adventure with
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. That would be
He just
funny.
starts thinking people are zombies, and then they really aren't, or something like
Yep.
that, because he needs his meds.
You want to bring up Wu-Tang? The Wu-Tang movie?
No, we'll save that for some other time.
Sounds good.
Seriously?
I was like,
I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck?
Horror movies, like Wu-Tang and horror movies. I don't have the article pulled up. We don't have.
What was
enough
that?
time to
It's
pull it up.
it's RZA and Ghostface Killah are making a movie together called Angel
and it's
of Dust.
Angel of Dust, and it's about real life shit that they had happen around, and shit like that. I'm anxious to see that. I'm normally not a horror movie kind of person, but I had a few good friends of mine. They invited me with them to see I think it was the newest Halloween movie or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I saw that shit and I'm like, that's very dope. And then I saw the preview
was very
for
good.
Us. And that was very dope, and it's
Yep.
like I might have to get into that. And I heard about the Candyman remake
Yep,
that's
yep.
possible
Yep.
in the works, so I'm like,
People-
I'm down for that shit.
People discount horror a lot.
Yep.
Like, as like,
You
they're
gotta-
not legitimate movies.
You
They're
gotta think,
Just because
campy.
it started out
It's-
with like the whole like Dracula.
It's
and
not
stuff.
even
It's like,
that.
don't-
It's that
don't watch
shit in
the
the
campy
middle.
ones.
It's that shit in the middle that fucked it up for everybody. Like the 10,000 Saw movies that like. They were kind
The
of
Saw movies,
suspenseful,
But the
it was
first
just
one was good.
Yeah, but it was like everything else was like kind of suspenseful, but super gory. Like it's just if I want to
Yep.
see some super gory shit, I'll watch some B-roll
Was
movie. That
Hostel-
It's when
Netflix
it's when you
funded,
milk
like-
the
Was
franchise.
Hostel
Yeah.
before
It's fun.
Saw?
I
No.
think that was around the. Wasn't that around the same time?
Probably around the same time.
Yeah.
Hostel was after,
Yeah.
I think,
'Cause I saw
that's
Hostel.
when gore became
Because I know like
the thing.
Hostel
Yeah.
2 was like 2007 maybe.
No, Saw was the first gore one, and
just
then
saying,
Hostel was
Oh,
after.
yeah, Saw was
Yeah.
probably when we were in high school,
Yeah.
Yeah.
old school.
Yeah, but it's like, think about it. Like every horror movie, like where it started, is pretty much just gold. They're gold
Yeah.
movies. Like,
Yeah.
not necessarily Friday the 13th, but Friday the 13th.
Oh, I love those.
Even Scream,
Nightmare on Elm
even
Street.
Scream,
like-
Nightmare on Elm Street,
The first
Halloween,
I'm not a big-
Child's Play,
I was not a big Nightmare on Elm Street guy.
Child's
even
like that.
Leprechaun.
Especially Leprechaun in the Hood.
Yep, with
Right.
Snoop. Was it Snoop
Yo.
Dogg in that?
And then the one where they go to space. Oh,
Snoop
it's
Dogg
just
was in
so
some
good.
horror movie.
Yeah, it's funny.
But yeah, Candyman, that was actually really good because these
Yeah.
are not movies that are campy.
Candyman was
Yeah.
freaky.
Think of it
It's
as
a movie
like,
that actually like would fuck you up.
yeah, think of it as like
That
a
was like-
psychological
Yep, that's
horror
what I was gonna
movie.
say. Psychological. Yep.
Yeah, it's not necessarily dude running around killing people. Think of them all as psychological thrillers,
Yeah.
but people are killed.
Yeah.
It's literally like this,
good,
like
yeah.
it's one of them, like an urban legend that becomes: is it real? Is it not real?
Yeah.
Is it in this
that
person's head?
Yeah.
A lot of the teenage
like that.
era stuff ruined it too, like the movie Urban Legend. I Know What You Did Last
Yeah.
Summer,
Yep.
I
which
watched the
wasn't
shit out of
bad.
it.
Not enough nudity.
Those were kind of
that needed more.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
it's
was
like-
that one movie that was like meh, where like like the lights are going out and there's this weird like evil
Darkness
like,
Falls was great. Shut up.
Darkness Falls was amazing. What's the one with the dummy that I don't like because I don't like dummies?
Oh, I can't remember what that's called.
shit.
Annabelle.
No, the one with the
Annabelle was good.
woman with the dolls. Oh, don't remember.
Because so Darkness Falls was the teeth. No, that was the light
the Tooth
one.
Fairy. Yep.
Yeah, it was the Tooth Fairy one. Fuck, I can't remember the doll one.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
But that one was also good.
Yep.
Then you got Insidious, which was a really good resurgence. Paranormal Activity was a good resurgence for horror movies. That was like low budget. Okay, we're just ranting.
The Strangers was trash.
Yeah, but you get the point. Horror movies are not there to just scare you. They actually, some of them have stories behind them. And if you look at the some of them have lore too. Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
The lore behind it.
Pet Sematary.
Even Pet Sematary, the Stephen Kings.
did you hear The Stand is getting a TV series again?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I love the fucking Stand. That one is really fucking good. The book, super fucked up. Really good show. From back in the day, believe Gary Sinise was in it. Maybe not. Not sure.
Oh, shout out too. Dune movie, things heating up. Lots of like they're starting to sign some big names.
They got
to
Bardem.
it.
Yep.
They got you know who else they got?
Not Brolin.
Dave Bautista.
Dave
Batista, dude.
They got
That's gonna be good.
One Skarsgård. They got
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
But we'll probably talk about Anthem next week. There's, I believe, for this month, it's Anthem, Crackdown 3, Far Cry, the Fallout series, or the Fallout version of Far Cry, and Metro are pretty much the releases for this month that are heavy hitters for February. We'll talk about those more when they come. Anthem has some controversy. Nothing that I saw, so I don't care. I'm not going to talk about it. I know I heard something about $20 skins, so take that as what you will, but they are skins.
Yeah.
Which is what gamers essentially agreed upon was the okay way to monetize a game and not pay to win stuff. So I don't have a problem with it because I just won't buy the skin.
Cosmetic, it doesn't give you an actual.
Yeah, I played League of Legends, $20 skins, nothing.
They're not paid to win. Well, actually,
that's 1.5
some of
Teemo
them,
skins right there.
Some of them, like, you can't really see them as well with certain skins.
Yep,
so I'd
on
say
ARAM,
those give
so-
an
Yep.
advantage.
So
I don't
Brice,
know.
what do you think of KFC jumping on the Cheetos bandwagon?
Shut
Oh,
up, dude.
fuck yeah.
I
Only
unpopular
available in
opinion,
Silver Six.
I only like Cheetos in extremely small doses.
Wait.
Like a little bag of crunchy, crunchy
I like
Cheetos.
to crunch it up
Okay.
and mix it with
that's about
potato
as much
salad.
as I can handle.
Oh,
Wait,
shit.
is
You want
that
something
next
Cheese
level.
puffs?
It is good.
No.
That's very
Wait,
next level.
what is this that you're talking about? Like, is it flaming hot Cheetos on fried chicken?
Well, they're having a
Yo.
fried chicken sandwich here. Okay, I'll read what it says.
Because I've seen
Quickly.
Ludacris
Made by
post-
coating a juicy hand-breaded extra crispy chicken fillet with special Cheeto sauce and placing it on a toasted bun with mayo and a layer of crunchy Cheetos.
Yo, if
Well,
they make that the
wait.
double down, I'd die, yo.
Okay, I
eat
thought
it.
because I seen Ludacris posted a picture
There's a picture of
where
it.
like he had
Yes.
That's Ludacris'
it was
new album
chicken,
cover.
right? It was chicken, but breaded with flaming hot Cheetos.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that would be
More to come.
that
on
would be something I shouldn't ever try.
I want to know what
Blood
this
pressure
Cheeto
is already
sauce
up
tastes
there.
like. That sounds
Right?
great.
Oh,
That guy on
man.
Reddit would know who made fun of my diet ranch.
Right?
Yeah.
And on that note, thanks for watching. Click subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. We're working on getting audio only podcasts. You'll get an update on that. It should be up. Not giving you a time frame because we're lazy. But we'll catch you next time. Well, I should say that after I say other stuff. Like and subscribe as always. Actually put comments in the thing. Tell us how stupid Ross is. Tell us how nice I am. How funny I am. Make fun of Alex. Do
Right.
whatever you need to do
Yes.
in the comments. But I will respond to everything. I swear to God. If you
Right
call me
there.
fat again,
We
guy
will
on Reddit,
come for you.
yeah,
No
you
homo.
could take a bus here and then I'll fight you. But I'm not going anywhere because I'm fat. So fuck
That's
you.
funny.
Diet Ranch, baby. Catch you next time.
Cheers.